Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
The Beezer.
I would never do something like that. First of all, I have a girlfriend who I love very much.
Her name is?
Michelle.
Michelle. What she look like?
She's super tall.
Oh, that's nice.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper, gang. Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang. Yes. Boy, that is good news.
It is the 8th day of November. It's 2024, and this is the Power Trip Morning Show on a Friday. Good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Hockey. Woohoo. Yeah. Here's what's going on. Marnie Geldner's coming in. I saw her from afar last night at the Sugarland Little Big Town concert, just dancing. She was having a good old time. She'll tell us about that. Mark Parrish on his way in. Probably other stuff. Man, I should remember. I can't stay out late anymore. I like to party, though. What are you going to do? Speaking of partying, here's Brian Regan. It's comedy. It's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Shall we do this? Come on in. I am glad you're here.
Talking about TV. I watch weird shows, man. There's one I'm trying to understand. It's about moonshiners, this reality show. I don't get it. There's a guy hiding out in the woods trying to make moonshine. I don't understand the premise. Liquor is legal. What's he doing hiding behind trees? Don't tell anybody I'm out here. Why are you out here? I'm making moonshine. Woo! You want some? No, I can get Jack Daniels over at the liquor store. It's legal. Has been for a while. Come out of the woods and read a newspaper.
Jeff, look at this thing.
Line is waiting, fate is on your side. You hear the distant thunder, there's lightning in your stride.
Chris, there are people out there that think this is a bit from time to time, but exactly 10 minutes ago, Mark Parrish sent us a group text that said, McDonald's? Right? Anybody want McDonald's? And Sauce was the first one to respond on the group text, and he texted back, large, small coffee, please, and love you.
I know.
Large, small coffee, please. Paul, what's a large, small coffee? Is that a medium?
I'll be honest with you. I don't even remember putting the large part. I just
wanted a small coffee.
Yeah.
You typed large, small coffee, please, and love you.
But I think because I'm so programmed when he texts that it's either a large coffee or a large Diet Coke. Mm-hmm. That I probably, my fingies just put in large and then my brain put in the small.
Yep, large, small coffee. I think that's a medium. Again, it's kind of like the common bit, right? Yeah. The best of the lousiest are the best.
Yeah.
Because if you're a small, large, is that a medium?
I would.
And if you're a large, small,
that's also a medium.
Is that a medium? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Not sure. All I know is that Parrish is paying for McDonald's, but you're paying hockey because Maple Grove 42 to 12 over at Dinah. $100 bet on high school kids. I freaking love it.
Yes.
Maple Grove, not even close. A 30-point win. According to Power Trip Bets, 42 to 12.
It is something, man, how schools just run into a stretch of really good athletes. Because Maple Grove, when my son went there, was just okay at sports. And by the time Abigail got there, they started being really good, and now it's crazy how good they are.
Man.
No.
So are they Final Four now? What are they down to?
I believe that makes them...
Was last night quarterfinals?
I think so.
I think so.
I thought somebody said quarterfinals. I'm only half listening when those high school reports go through.
Yeah.
I thought we were down to 8. Maybe not. I don't know. Somebody will tell us. Somebody that's got an eye on the prize.
They play... Hang on.
Man, I love
Wiener
energy drinks.
Crank.
This is just like, what is this? This is 16 ounces? I wish they came in like a large, small size.
That'd be cool.
Like bigger than this, but not, you know?
Yeah. Let's see what this says here.
Well,
this is October 17th. That's on time. Jesus.
Minnetonka played Blaine last night. I don't know who won that. Maple Grove plays the winner of Shakopee Mounds View, who probably played last night or played tonight.
So that means
I think it's the.
Zach would know. Zach, was last night the quarterfinals of the high school football people?
He said he died.
Like Maple Grove beat Edina last night. Are we down to 4 now?
Quarterfinals. That was the quarterfinals.
That was the quarters. Okay.
35-0. Balls.
Who was 35-0?
Maple Grove.
What?
Routing Edina. I'm sorry. That was Edina. My fault. That was the other day. I get confused, man. Because you know what happens? I have to backdoor my way into all the Star Tribune stories.
Oh, because
so
it's
I never know for sure when I'm. Yeah, right.
Didn't you sign up for an account that's inappropriate to say on the air?
I certainly did, and it doesn't work anymore.
Oh yeah, they sent a thing out like you have to log out and log back in.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't
like a month ago.
Yeah, what's he?
Yeah,
they updated their systems or something. Why do I know that? I'm a nerd.
42-12. Yeah, there you go. Headed to U.S. Bank Stadium for the state semifinals.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, it's cool. High school football's fun, right?
Yeah.
I did see a picture though, Saucy, of a young man standing in front of a goalpost, hugging his coach, and it said, "Cheers to everybody playing their last game tonight." And that hit me. Woo! Yeah, that hit me in the spot.
I cried on the air like 5 years ago because I used to host that Friday night scoreboard show here,
right?
And we started talking about like the last because it was this time of year. People are.
I cried tonight,
and it was like,
can we just get that part of the song?
I like
can we play that?
I like that we all sing that. And isn't that technically incorrect? Isn't it? Are you crying tonight?
No, it's.
But we just all say, I cried tonight because it sounds better.
Yeah.
And Chris told us the actual lyrics about 7 years ago, but we
I just quit trying.
No.
I cried tonight.
Can we just play that part?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Sure.
Like a button bar?
Sure, hold on.
Yeah.
You stay right there, Sweet Pea.
All right,
I'll get this done for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, but no, you know what, Zacho? I knew the last time that I was standing on the football field that I would never put football pads on again. I knew it. That was it. I'm 5'6". It wasn't. There was no next level.
I was a stone's throw from Corey's house over at the Plymouth Ice Center.
The pick. We call it the pick.
After the state tournament consolation game, in which things really went bad at the end. There, it didn't matter. The result didn't matter because
that's White Bear though.
He got off and
whoa.
Well, not that way. Later, but I think we sat in the locker room with our gear on for about an hour. Crying.
So what were you saying about when you were hosting that show?
Crying tonight.
Perfect.
Thank you, Uggs. I really appreciate it.
I cried tonight.
It's I.
It sounds like he's saying I cried tonight, but it's not.
He's from Belgium.
Yeah.
I crying tonight.
Are you crying tonight?
Our way's better.
I like it too.
Is that White Lion?
Look, if we could ask for large, small coffees, we can change lyrics to White Lion or whoever the hell that is.
White Lion, yeah.
You love that, right, Hawk?
Yeah, man. I really liked that band.
Have you seen them live?
Not only that, I when I worked at the Big Wazoo, Dayton's Dangerous Rock and Roll Station, when I was the Hawk Man, come on in, let's get some slurping. And Slurpees.
Freudian slip.
Yeah.
I cried.
We had, the backstage all set because, that was back when radio stations had money and everybody was doing cocaine. Not White Lion. Anyway, we were backstage and they had, all they had was like a meat tray and he was a vegetarian. So I had to take him to Kroger, the lead singer, the guy who just said, "Are you crying tonight?" I had to take him to Kroger and let him attack the salad bar. So he can make himself a giant salad. And he made himself a giant salad. And then he looked at me like, "Well, you're paying for this." And I did. I was an intern.
And wow. It's like when I used to buy Chris Hovan sodas every week. Yeah. And I was an unpaid intern and he was a millionaire in the NFL. And I was buying his sodas every week.
Yeah. White Lion was one of the biggest bands in the world at that point.
And
they
you took him to Kroger. I can't believe he didn't say, "I'm not going with this kid to Kroger." Yeah. He's going to Kroger by himself and getting me my salad.
Yeah, right.
I can't believe you just carpooled there.
Think he looked at me and didn't trust me to get him a salad.
Well, there's that. This kid just cried about his last high school football game. I'm not letting him pick out salad.
Crying tonight.
He's got pubic hair on his head. I'm not going to let him buy my salad.
That would have been great as him by my salad. You're driving him to the Kroger and you start crying about the high school football game. He goes,
Can
why are
I
you
tell you
crying?
about something?
I know.
You know that song where you say, I'm crying tonight?
That was me.
Well, hang on. Maybe that's exactly where it came from. So Chris is teared up because he's thinking about his last high school football game, but he's driving to Kroger to get salad. And Chris has tears in his eyes, and White Lion guy just looks over and goes, are you crying tonight? Yeah. And he goes, I got it.
Yeah.
That's it. I can't come up with a line for this song.
I crying tonight.
This song goes out to that guy with the pubic hair on his head. I'll never forget him taking me to get a salad at that weird grocery store.
Thanks for buying it.
Had the smallest penis I ever saw.
Why did you show him your penis?
Because he's White Lion.
And then White Lion guy calls the rest of White Lion and just says,
Chuck, it's Marvin. Your cousin, Marvin Berry. You know that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to this.
Are you crying tonight?
So good. Maybe that's what we do. We just take lines from our favorite songs and just play them.
yeah, who knows? They're going to tell us to stop at 9 o'clock, but who cares?
I loaded in the thing the other day, and I think we played it before, Corey, but I'm going to see if I can find it. The Rick Rubin interview where he's telling somebody about System of a Down writing Chop Suey.
Yeah.
Do you remember that bit?
I did see it. I saw a clip the other day. I wonder if it's the exact same clip I saw on social.
Yeah.
Was it the one about
him not having the lyrics?
Okay, no, I saw. Man, who did I saw an interview or a little soundbite on Instagram, and I thought it was Rick Rubin as well. And somebody was saying the first time they played System of a Down for another band, why do I think it was Rage?
It was the guitar player for Rage.
It was Tom?
Yeah, exactly.
Morello?
I've heard that story before.
Yeah, and
too.
it was something like, "This is music for crazy people."
This is crazy people music.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
And his point was that everybody now, including like Tom Morello, looks back and goes, "God dang it! Like it was brilliant. We just didn't get it at the time."
Well,
Chop Suey is one of the greatest songs ever
so
written.
good.
That comes from a Rick Beato interview, and it's a 2-hour interview you can
Yikes.
only see on YouTube with Rick Rubin. And if you want to know about the Red Hot Chili Peppers, System of a Down, Johnny Cash, I encourage you to listen to the whole thing. And it, like I said, it's on YouTube, but you can click on it and listen to it as you're driving down the road. He talks about when System of a Down, he went to see them play a show for 200 people at the Viper Room before he did their first record with them. And they were doing stuff, and he said, I just sat there the entire show and laughed, and I said, I've got to produce this record. And Rick says something like, what do you do when you see something that you can only classify as weird? Do you think I'm going to try to make that palatable? And he goes, no, why would I do that? Weird is good. You don't progress unless you find weird things. And I'm like, that's super cool, man.
He's great.
There is nobody in the last 25 years that has matched the weirdness and excellence of System of a Down.
Nobody.
Right?
That's
because
a very good point.
they are elite at almost everything they do, but they're also extremely weird and they lean right into it.
Yeah.
I still thought, and I'm not trying to say they're the same, but they're one of my favorite bands of all time. But Fair to Midland, who actually was the first band that Serge signed when Serge Tankian started his own record label, and then it didn't work. Fair to Midland, I thought was System of a Down meets Lord of the Rings. I thought they were like the folk rock version of System because they were super weird.
Right.
But it never clicked, right? It never went mainstream. Nobody ever got it. Two of my favorite albums, literally two of my top, 15 albums of all time are the two Fair to Midland albums, but nobody listened to it. But it's because it's weird. And remember, this is the repeat story, but I just think this is so crazy that when I got to interview that lead singer, Darrow, I'm like, any reason why you're not bigger? And he flat out said, he goes, it's me. He's like, the band's awesome. He's like, people just think my singing's weird. Just flat out admit it. Yeah. I'm too weird for the masses, and it just didn't click. It's so freaking good.
Man.
But it makes sense that Serge saw that band and said, I like that. Like these guys, I like these guys. This is my kind of band. Right. Totally makes sense that those two were at one point kind of partners. It just Serge's record label went nowhere. Way to go, Fair to Midland.
He talks about, Ruben said he sent Johnny Cash Rusty Cage by Soundgarden and said, I think we should redo this song on your next record. And Johnny Cash was like, are you crazy? Have you heard this song? Do you know what you're proposing? I love it, man. Sheesh. And then he plays, they play snippets of songs, right? Just so Rick can have a memory about it. And they start playing Hurt by Johnny Cash. and they have to play the whole thing. They can't stop it.
Yeah.
It's just, and he said by that point in his life, Johnny knew it was almost over, right?
Sure.
And so singing that song, my gosh, man. Oh, by the way, Sasi, I'm so glad that we're talking about this because I just remembered. Do you remember the song that, is it Van Morrison did right before he died?
Van Morrison's still with us.
No, okay. Who's the guy we always talk about?
Oh, David Bowie?
No, I'm sorry. That's a really good point, but no. Jeez Louise. He wrote, not Van Morrison, the other guy who was mean to everybody. The guy who did Werewolves of London.
Oh, Warren Zevon.
You remember that song I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Willie Nelson just covered it.
It's
about saying...
was Warren Zevon not nice?
I believe that's right.
Oh, okay.
But,
it's...
anyway, geez Louise.
Keep Me in Your Heart?
Yeah, Keep Me in Your Heart. It's about Don't Forget Me When I Die. Ugh. Willie Nelson just covered it, and he's in his 90s. And he's not long for this world. Holy balls, guys!
Really?
It is him basically saying, "Hey, don't forget me. It's about over for me, but please just remember me. That's all I ask."
Jeez. Yeah, it's in an episode of Californication and like a perfect scene. That is a heart-wrenching song.
Well, the song is a goodbye from somebody to everybody.
Didn't David Letterman love Warren Zevon?
Yeah, he asked him. I think he came on that show and played that song. I think
like the last week or a month before he passed away.
Yeah. So Willie and the record, by the way, the Willie Nelson record just came out today, and you want to hear?
Well, let's listen to it during the break and cry together. I cried tonight.
Full circle. Back to System for 1 second. This is a little bit like how we were late to the party on Tool, right? Where all the Tool kids scared us, and then now we look back and go, man, they were right because Tool's unbelievable. I feel a little bit guilty of that as well with System because I was a high school, I think, senior when their first album came out. And Sugar was on that album.
Yeah.
I love that song now. But that music video was weird and freaky. I'm like, what is this? So that first album did nothing for me.
Yeah, no,
and then Toxicity came out 2 or 3 years later, and that's Chop Suey. And I'm like, what is this? Right.
Yeah.
And Chop Suey was a huge deal on MTV. And then that's kind of when they hit big. Then I went back. I was like, oh, I see what they're doing now with Sugar. So sometimes you have to just rip the Band-Aid off and get past that initial, like, I don't get what they're doing.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Hawk, I just looked this up, 2005, do you remember how crazy this show went when they released Mesmerize and Hypnotize in the same year?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Because it had so many bangers, those two albums combined. And what was it, like 6 months apart? I forget exactly how.
6 months.
But they released 2 albums in a year. And we lost our minds. We're like, this band is genius. We couldn't stop playing System, couldn't stop talking about System.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Star loved them, didn't he?
Everybody did.
Yeah, one more thing from that Rick Rubin thing about System of a Down. So when they released that record that had Sugar on it, he sent it to the program director of K-Rock, and the response from the program director of K-Rock, which was the trendsetter for all of music.
Oh, yeah.
In L.A., the radio station. And the guy said, this radio station will never play any music from this band. This is too weird for our audience. 3 months later, they were the number one most requested song on that radio station.
It's probably a good sign you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Man, radio, video, old school Hollywood, Question, BYOB was a monster hit.
Yeah.
Hypnotize had...
And the record came out on
Lonely Day.
September 11th. Not the day after or the day before, on September 11th. And it's our favorite song from the record starts with Rolling Suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toxicity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now I'm going to listen to System all day.
I know.
So
like the deep cuts to old school Hollywood.
You know the part. I'm sorry, but the part where he goes, "Father, into your I commit my spirit."
Mm-hmm.
He says to Rick Rubin, he says, "I got no lyrics for this this part of the song."
Oh,
you know the story?
You told us this story. They found it in a book.
Yeah,
or
so
something?
he said, "Well, grab a book, any book off my shelf," and he reaches over and grabs the book and opens it up. And that's the line he reads.
Wow.
And that's the line of the song. And Rick's point in that interview is, it's the best part of the song.
Yes.
And it came out of that. Man, I love music.
Sweet.
It's magic. It's all magic,
sweet.
man. It's all magic.
Yeah. It's excellent.
I love it.
You
I
know
wish
who
we
loves
could play
magic?
Who?
My friends at Gutter Helmet
and kids at
Minnesota,
birthday parties?
And GutterHelmetMN.com. Never clean your gutters again.
God, I wish we could play music, man. I'm sorry, Abbott. I know you get mad at me when I say that, but I wish we could.
You can, then you just got to cut it out of the podcast.
We ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, I'll just cut the whole segment.
Yeah, right.
That's what we would have to do.
We would
right?
have to do that.
We could
That's
do a
right,
whole
yeah.
segment of music and play it all we want, but then that would just disappear.
Here's what we'll do. We'll play some music right now, go to break, and we'll come back with the open again.
Yeah, right. Start all over.
Yeah.
I like it.
Could do that. Charch Challenge today, Marnie today, Parrish today, Mr. Z today, initials at 8:15, $77,500. That's right, one of you could win $77,500 just by listening to the Power Trip Morning Show. It's possible today at 8:15. Stick around.
The Pup Power Hour begins at 8 a.m. It's brought to you by Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed. Watch all the action at KFAN.com/watch.
Paul, your hands up.
Quick question.
Hurry up.
Have any of you been into the cafeteria recently?
The break room here?
The
you
break
mean?
room,
No.
yeah.
I was earlier this week.
Did you see the note on the pop machine?
I did see that.
Who wrote that?
That's
did it
got to be
say?
Swedberg, right?
I don't think Swedberg drinks regular Mountain
Can you
Dew.
go take a pic? This
I
is
did take a picture of it.
Okay, this is so similar to the
Tweet it
episode
out.
of The Office where Pam writes a note and leaves it on the microwave about how disrespectful it is to leave the microwave so dirty.
Yeah.
Do you take a picture of it?
I did.
Yes,
I heard
somebody
people talking about it. What does it say?
What does it say?
I read it this morning. It's so funny you say that. I just noticed it this morning. How many days has it been up there?
I just noticed
Oh.
it this morning.
Yeah, if you have it on your phone, read it.
It says, "Dear pop machine vendors, I have worked here for more than a dozen years. I frequent this very pop machine and appreciate its convenience. Years ago, I even accidentally caused the crack in the bottom of the faceplate of this machine."
Oh,
Still there. Yeah.
Right. As long as I have been here, the machine has delivered me the "sorry, this item is not available. Please select another" error message for both regular Mountain Dew placements. There's simply no way that it's accurate. I left to believe that either 1, someone regularly hammers 4 Mountain Dews a day, 2, the machine is malfunctioning, or 3, we are suffering through a worldwide Mountain Dew shortage. Either way, this seems like a problem that we can solve together, which I was as I'm alerting you to my concern of any error. I want to give you my money, I really do, but I also just want a regular Mountain Dew. Sincerely, a concerned and under-caffeinated employee.
Man, who do we know who would write that?
Well, I was going to guess Swedberg, but he said
No, he
more than
drinks
a
Diet
dozen.
Mountain Dew.
He drinks
And he
Diet.
said more than a dozen years.
More.
Well, he has been here more than
Yeah,
a dozen,
he
but it
has.
is weird to say exactly more than 12 years.
And if it was Swedberg trying to hide, he could say that it was more than a dozen because it technically is true, but it hides because he wouldn't be like, I've been here since
Right.
92.
Fair.
Is Musk like Mountain Dew?
No, Musk doesn't drink soda, I don't think.
I don't think Musk can type.
Yeah,
That's true.
I don't
Was
think he
it-
drinks
was it a
anything
type
non-alcoholic.
well played. Yeah, he was only drinking it to cut his vodka, yeah.
I bet it was Marnie.
So somebody's really pissed that every time they get upset by a Mountain Dew, it's not there.
Somebody's so pissed that they possibly kicked the machine.
Accidentally.
It's got to be a salesperson then.
Probably.
Some AE.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't.
Who likes Mountain Dew that much?
But how many Mountain Dews does that machine hold, especially if there are 2 slots?
I would think like 12, right? I mean,
Or
maybe more than that.
Maybe more than that. Who knows?
When they open up the machine, it's like floor to ceiling.
I bet it's.
They got a lot in there.
30. I bet it holds
But they go
30.
through Diet Coke real quick over there too. And I've never thought about writing a note about it, but yes, I have notes.
The gentleman that runs that machine is a super good dude.
No, he's a really good dude.
Really
I like
good
that guy,
dude.
man.
Yeah.
Every time you walk in there, if he's in there,
He's a great dude.
Well, he's going to be a little curious to find out who wrote that, I think.
Well, listen, if
I just tweeted it if you want to see it.
if you changed the words in that from Mountain Dew to Diet Coke, we wouldn't even have to guess.
Nope.
Right. Or Diet Mountain Dew. If it's Diet Mountain
right,
Dew,
Then
it's
it's Swedberg.
Mossberg.
Yeah, for sure.
I have been to that point of anger because, like, I'll be here on
About Diet Coke, not
on
you.
Vikings football Sunday, and I get my Carbonis, and I'm happy with my Carbonis, and I'm like, you know what goes great with Carbonis? a nice bottle of Diet Coke. And I go to the break room and I scan my phone or whatever, and I hit the button, and sorry, this product's not available or something.
And then you check your bank account and you see that $2.73 has been deducted from your account. You're like, son of a bitch, I still got charged.
No, believe me.
That's
I made
happened.
sure of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've had that happen.
That
I've had
happened to
happen.
you?
Yeah.
I've had that happen trying to buy Pop-Tarts out there. Not that I need a Pop-Tart, but...
And not that you need the
Did you leave a note?
Right. I did not leave a note. I just said that's
you moved on.
That is the universe telling me leave those blueberry Pop-Tarts
that's
alone.
Whoever going, you don't need those.
You don't need 400 calories. You're watching football.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, and ignoring meat sauce.
Yep. Anyway.
Yeah. So, that's what's going on at the office.
Look, I know nobody had anybody in the Charch Challenge last night, but that's one of those games. If, like, Hawk has Jamar Chase and he puts up 264 and 3 touchdowns, whoops.
And if we were a PPR, you get 11 points for those catches.
How about that? Jamar Chase, 264 yards and 3 touchdowns, but the Bengals lose by 1. And I'm just so tired of screaming into the wind. But how about all the people already in the last 12 hours going, why did they go for 2? Those are the same people a week ago screaming that the Buccaneers should have gone for 2 against the Kansas City Chiefs. You should always go for 2 in that spot.
Always.
Don't be results oriented.
No.
Don't say, well, it didn't work.
No.
So that's why you're not supposed to go for it. No, it's not going to work every time.
You go for it for multiple reasons.
So many reasons.
They have, I know he missed an extra point. They have one of the best kickers of all time. Their offense has moved up and down the board to score 35 points. You go for it. Nobody wants to play for overtime.
You don't want to go to overtime.
How about this? In the league I'm in with a bunch of my high school buddies, he put up 64 points.
Aren't you in the League of Ordinary Gentlemen?
I am, yeah. But we don't need to talk about it.
That was not a good movie. Wasn't that Connery's last
that movie?
Was that Connery's last movie?
I think it might have been.
You loved it, didn't you, Hunt?
That was great.
He played Alan Quartermain, right? And then there was like the Jekyll and Hyde guy, Dorian Gray, Captain Nemo, right? Who am I forgetting? There was wasn't like 6 or 7 people. It was like the book version of X-Men, right? It was just a whole bunch of like
cool concept.
Literary heroes that were all fighting, bad guys. Not a bad idea, but not a good movie. Paul, your hands up.
A guy who works for Pepsi just tweeted me and says one of those columns holds 36 bottles.
Okay, so then this guy or gal is even
Joseph,
more right then. No, I don't mean that guy.
Yeah,
I mean, whoever wrote the letter then is even more right. If each slot holds 36, that's 72 Mountain Dews. There's no way we're going through 72 as a floor, the 5th floor here, a day.
Hey, does Tyson fight that kid this weekend?
I don't know when that is.
No, it's a week from today, isn't it? Isn't it November 15th?
Oh, I thought
don't
it
know.
was 10th.
Are you going to get it? Do you get to pay for it, or is it just on Netflix?
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought it was just on Netflix.
Could be.
I've seen promos for it.
Hawk will pay for it.
Well, technically, I already have it. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, good point.
Front Page Sports is next. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
You're going to have to do this segment without me.
Jeez.
My God. Whew. Willie Nelson, Keep Me in Your Heart. Watch the lyric video, I dare you.
Oh.
I wish so badly I could play that song for people out there. Holy moly.
Yeah.
My goodness.
All right, shall we?
I love you, Saz.
Love you.
Time now for Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
Holiday Station Stores. Check this out. If you like Red Bull, mix and match any 8.4 ounce Red Bull and get 3 for just $6.50. 3 for $6.50 for a limited time. Red Bull at Holiday, so you can get your energy boosted by getting some Red Bull at Holiday. Limited time. Get in there and get some Red Bull. Thanks, Holiday.
Thank you.
It was a late one, Zachary, but the Minnesota Wild knock out the old number 1 pick, Macklin Celebrini, and the San Jose Sharks. The kid scored a couple, but the Wild win 5-2.
Hell yeah! Yeah, Kirill Kaprizov had a couple of, just normal games. He didn't score the last couple of games, so it's been kind of weird not seeing him on the score sheet. And that changed last night. Had a few assists and
3 of them.
And that's a few, I think, right?
Yeah.
The Sharks are not a great team right now. They're going to get better. Macklin Celebrini is back, and they'll eventually get there. But two big points, very important points for the Wild, is they have their have a back and back. Is this the first back? What am I trying to say?
Back to back?
Back to back. There we go.
They play tonight, right?
The Anaheim Ducks of Los Angeles, I believe. So
great bit. That's a Barrero bit.
I heard it on Burrow, and I thought it was genius.
Yep, really good bit. He's been doing it for a long time. The Minnesota Timberwolves won 135-119 over the Chicago Bulls. Kind of a weird start for the Wolves.
Weird.
I think at one point they were down, what was it, 12 or 13 or 14? I mean, it was in that range. They were not doing very well, and then Bulls fell apart, and the Wolves put the pedal down. 33 points for Ant, 22 for Julius Randle, 21 for Rudy Gobert. Gobert was 9 of 11.
Yeah.
Right? Just the guy's 9 feet tall. Just let him dunk it.
The Wolves outscored the Bulls 45-24 in the fourth.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, Ant came in and just basically was the Joe Nathan of the game and just closed it out.
And both teams shot over 40% from three.
Yeah.
That's why it's so 135 to 119.
Yeah, at
so
one
the Wolves
point,
are up to 5-3.
The Bulls couldn't miss. So, yeah, it was good. You got to beat teams like that. They were on the second half of a back-to-back. And now the Wolves will battle Portland tonight at 8.
This is the start of 3 of the next 4 games are against Portland.
Yeah, you should win all 3.
Should.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Hey, guys.
What is it?
Ben died.
Ben? Lieber?
Thought that was your Luke Skywalker impression. Kirk Herbstreit's dog, Ben, died.
Oh, no, I'm actually sad.
Yeah.
They would just pet the hell out of him at college game day and anywhere else that Kirk Herbstreit brought him.
I think he brought him
everywhere. Yeah. I guess they have like 4 dogs, but he was the oldest. But he posted yesterday that Ben's cancer had spread and that the dog's dead. It's been viral the last couple of weeks, right? Everybody's talking about Ben. And it's over.
R.I.P. to a good boy.
Oh, Zachy.
R.I.P. to a good boy. Well said, Zach.
That sucks. I don't want... Yeah, that's sad.
Willie Nelson also covers Lost Cause by Beck. Holy moly.
Which one's Lost Cause? Do I know that song?
Lost. Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know if I know that one. Lost Cause.
Do you need a hug, Steady?
Yeah, I think you probably know it. I know it, so I can't imagine. In my memories.
Doesn't Charch love Beck?
I know he loves
Whoa. Hawk's back.
I don't know. We can ask Charch in like 20 minutes. I don't know why he doesn't seem like a Beck guy to me.
I think he does love Beck.
It's possible. I mean, Beck's quirky and weird, but
and the time of the chimpanzees, he was a monkey.
It does seem like Beck's even too mainstream for Charch, though.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
We'll ask him in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The Vikings are at the Jags Sunday at noon right here on the Fan. The Vikings are 6-2. The Jaguars are terrible at 2-7. As of yesterday, they're leaning pretty heavily that they don't think Lawrence is going to go, right? So it would be Mac Jones starting for the Jacksonville Jaguars. As of last night, I didn't check this morning. Mac the Knife. Mac and Me. Great movie. As of last night on DraftKings, the Vikings were 7-point favorites. Over-under is 44. How about this? I didn't know some of these stats. You know, you would think the Jags have been around since what? Mid-90s?
Yeah, that's right.
When did they start? 93, 94, something like that? The Jags started playing football?
That's right.
Did you guys know the Vikings have only played in Jacksonville twice? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
They are 2-0 all-time in Jacksonville. And the Vikings have won the last 5 meetings overall against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The last time the Jags won against Minnesota was 2001. That's how infrequently these two teams play. They haven't defeated the Vikings in 23 years.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's according to the AP. That's the Associated Press stats. I didn't fact check those. I trust whoever wrote that for the AP.
Did we play them in a preseason then? Because I've been there.
Yeah, I would guess, yeah.
Maybe. But regular season, 2-0 all-time against Jacksonville in Jacksonville. It's going to be 3 after this weekend, but let's punish them. We can't let Mac Jones beat us. Can't let Trevor Lawrence beat you, but you definitely can't let Mac Jones.
Yeah, that's true.
Blake Cashman and Ivan Pace limited in practice.
Yeah, but Cashman's going to play, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cashman will play. I'm pretty sure Pace will play. Like Lieb said yesterday, he came back into the game after he got hurt on Sunday, so.
Yeah.
Blue eyes crying in the sun.
Gophers at Rutgers tomorrow at 11 a.m. Right here on the Fan. The Gophers are 6-3. They've won 4 straight. Rutgers going the other way. So former Gopher quarterback Ethan Kaliakmanis takes on one of the best Gopher quarterbacks maybe ever. It's crazy to say that because he's only played 9 games for us. But in terms of ability, where do you think Max Brosmer ranks in Gopher history? Isn't that crazy? That's a little bit a credit to Brosmer. It's also a damning situation or damning statement on the historic state of Gopher quarterbacking. But where does he rank all time?
Well, doesn't
talent-wise, of course, not numbers. He's only played 9 games.
Doesn't Tommy always say that Mitch Leidner would have been way better, but he had like 6 different offensive coordinators?
I think that was Adam Weber, too.
Yeah.
That Weber had like a new OC every year.
Yeah. Who's the best That's a great
That's what I'm
question.
saying. Is just, we don't have a lot to pick from, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, before our time, obviously, there must have been some really good ones, you know?
Okay, here we go.
But way back in the day, right, they handed the ball off so often, they weren't slinging it like they do now. So I don't know.
Yeah, like Ricky Foggy, I think.
No idea.
In terms of yards, Adam Weber had almost 11,000 yards. Tanner had 9,000. Cupido had 7. Leidner had 7,000. Let's see.
So again, like some of those names, like there's no doubt to me Max Brosmer is better than Brian Cupido. Not even close.
Yeah. Is he better than Tanner?
I mean,
well, in 2019,
Tanner was pretty good, but I like the way Brosmer plays a little bit better. But Tanner was really obviously
Tanner was
super
great.
productive.
Yeah, played
monster games.
Played on a
stepped
great
up,
team. Yeah.
stepped up in big moments.
I mean,
hard not to love Tanner.
Brosmer is better than Corey Sauter.
Yeah. He's better than Asad Abdul Khalik.
Did you go to games when Corey Sauter was a quarterback?
Yeah, but I went to a lot when Asad Abdul Khalik was a quarterback for sure.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about it.
What was it like as a student going to games at the Dome?
At the Dome?
I would imagine
not
that
great.
sucked.
Not great. Because it was.
Do you have do they have shuttles or do you have to find your own way there?
They probably did, but I found my own way there.
Oh, God.
How lame is that?
But those were not full stadiums.
Oh, it was.
Now you can go get hammered, go to the game, stumble your way back to the college club. It's great.
Man, I want to ask, we should ask Mike Grimm that. Where does Brosmer rank in terms of talent in the history of Gopher football? That's crazy. Just talent alone. Yeah. Insane that he's even in the conversation after 9 games. Anyway, all right, we'll come back. We'll talk to Mr. Z. The Charch Challenge in like 25 minutes. Initials 2 hours from now. Marnie will be here. Parrish will be here with sauces, large, small coffee, and so much more. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
Join the voice of the Vikings, Paul Allen, out at Hy-Vee in Savage on Tuesday, November 12th. Stop by from 5 to 6 to meet PA and Vikings fullback C.J. Ham, all thanks to Hy-Vee and Pepsi, plus a live Q&A event to follow. Get the full details now at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
That's sweet.
Yeah, man. CJ's the best.
He is the best.
Better than Mark Parrish?
Oh, no. Top 5, though.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're going to say that because I'm right behind you, but that's okay.
Oh, I didn't know you were back
I'll
there.
take it.
Hey, Parrish, did you get sauces, large, small coffee or not?
Yes, I did. I got a kick out of that one. And of course, it was the first one I read, and I was a little tired. I kept thinking I was reading it wrong, or I was kind of half asleep. And no, just said large, small coffee.
But then he did say please and love you.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Small coffee, please, love you.
That's why he got the large.
Yeah, thanks, Patty.
Smart. We also love Mr. Z. He calls almost every Friday to talk about films. Hi, Mr. Z.
Hey guys, what's up?
Good morning. Good morning.
What's up, Mr. Z?
What do we got? What do we got today in the world of film? What's coming out today? What do we got?
World of film. A little boost up from last weekend. There's two movies most people might have seen something about. One is called Best Christmas Pageant Ever.
Yeah.
A lot of people remember the books if they had kids at some point. It's a bit of a churchy film, so it's not necessarily for everyone. A PG family film about a relatively conservative church putting on the nativity play, and then this one family is really troublemaker, and they end up giving them parts in the play, and we all learn the true meaning of Christmas. That opens, and then on the opposite side, we have Heretic, a horror film from A24, which is very, obviously, if you looked at the reviews, not that that means anything, but it's like 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, is it really good?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah, it looks scary.
It does, and it's cool. It's there's nothing wrong with a good Friday the 13th type horror movie, and then this is a little more. Basically, I try not to do too much, but a couple of young women who are Mormons, kind of doing the thing, knocking on the door, saying, would you like to discuss, your relationship with the Lord and all that? And then Hugh Grant puts them. They get kind of trapped in, and they get put through some tests to test their faith. And I think from everything I understand is that kind of Hugh Grant is such a charming, and he kind of does that whole charm thing while being creepy, and it makes it double creepy because he's being the sweet Hugh Grant who's making him do this stuff. So
I wonder if the person who wrote this film just got really sick of people knocking on his door.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a concept for you.
Just created it. Yeah, well, and yes, that's definitely possible. So I think that the idea, and you can make of you will, but that's from A24, and they've had a pretty good record with horror films.
Yeah, you shut the door after they knock on the door and they leave, and you just say to your wife, God, I would have loved to put them in the basement and put them through challenges and test their faith.
Yeah,
you should write a movie about that. It's like, man, this is the exact scenario that Chris Hockey and that lead singer from White Lion experienced 25 years ago.
Yeah, it's called Double Dare.
Or 35 years ago. Anyway, so yeah, Heretic, like you just said, 94% on your favorite website. That's getting some rave reviews, and that's like 140 reviews. So that's pretty much unanimous that this thing's legit. But again, that's what A24 does, right? That studio over the last handful of years is just knocking home run after home run out of the park.
Yeah, right. And they have a way of appealing to the modern critics, and because the critics are a different audience than regular people. And so there's a lot of times the critics don't like movies that regular people really like. And they found their way where they make movies that critics love, and most people like. It's always not for everybody, but well.
Paul, your hands up.
Mr. Z?
Yeah.
How well is Wicked going to do?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
Right now, it's projected to be like let's just throw out a number, $100 million opening. Now, that's a little aggressive, I think, because first, it's really long, 2.5 hours long, and it is limited in its audience. But on the other side, it comes out on the 22nd, and a lot of people will spread that. Instead of all trying to go opening weekend, you have it nice spread out over the weekend, over Thanksgiving. People save it for the weekend after Thanksgiving. And so some of this box office is going to be spread out. But it's going to do very, very well because it's an event film. It's one of those movies that everyone they know is going to have went to it, and then you're like, well, I suppose I should go. And that helps bump up the numbers. So Wicked is expected to do more than Gladiator 2 is, which opens on the same date.
Well, have you seen it yet?
No, actually, I haven't. I've seen almost. We catch Moana and Wicked next week, I think.
I wonder if it's.
But I did see a bunch out when we were out in Vegas. They did a bunch of stuff, had all the cast out there, and did some stuff for it, and showed us a bunch of things. I think we talked about that when we were out in Vegas. It's going to be. The reviews are doing just fine from everything I've heard. So
I wonder if it's faithful to the book and the music.
I think it is. Well, I've went back and forth. I'll tell you all because I want to know the same thing. In fact, first thing I asked was, this is 2 parts, right? And they're kind of not talking about that. But from what I understand, we're dealing with Act 1 and Act 2.
Oh, I did not know that.
Rather than the book.
Really? I had no idea. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe, and again, I'm not even going to say it. I was hesitant to say that because I've asked around, but I'm pretty sure we're looking at Act 1 being the first part.
You know what will be interesting, and I haven't. Maybe I need to do more seeing the trailer. but there's an opportunity to do some really cool things with the main characters in this film, like the teachers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? What I'm referencing when I say that, Mr. Z?
Yeah.
There's some cool things they can do.
Yeah, they're going to take it. Obviously, you're going to make Act 1 into 2+ hours. You need to add some visuals and some charm and magic to it, using from the stage to the theater. So I would expect, yes, that we're going to see a lot of teasing out of some of those characters.
Hey, by the way, back to Moana 2 for a second, for all the parents that are in the room and the parents that are listening. Isn't it kind of cool when a movie comes out that your kid loves, and then your kid starts getting older, and then they have a delayed sequel, and you're like, she ain't going to care about this anymore. She's too old. My almost 11-year-old is pumped for Moana 2. And I thought the last couple of months when they were starting to tease it, I'm like, she's not going to care anymore. She's over that stuff. She could not be more excited for Moana 2. So she's still clinging to that just a little bit.
Yeah, the
first one was fantastic.
It's funny. I guess you could say that would be the first sense of nostalgia there. She's having nostalgia for when she was young. Of when the first, but yeah, Moana 2 selling crazy tickets. They're expecting a huge, this doesn't necessarily mean anything, but at this point in its pre-sales, it sold more tickets than Inside Out 2 did at its point, and that was the record breaker. So Disney's buckling up for a big one.
It's fantastic. The first one, at least, is fantastic. Zach, your hands up.
Mr. Z?
Yeah.
Hi. Quick question. Happy Gilmore 2, obviously. We were talking about this yesterday. And I know Netflix has a history of just basically releasing on Netflix alone. Is there any hope of that movie having a theatrical release?
If it's really good, if it's crap, it'll stay on Netflix. Really, that's honestly what a lot of times happens. Is they make a movie and go, this movie is actually good enough to be at the theaters. And that's kind of, so my guess is I think Sandler, when he's making these, is having fun. He knows what he's doing. He's making it for Netflix. And so there is a difference. It's hard to put your finger on it. There's a difference between a movie that's made to watch at home and a movie that's made in the theaters. And so if you specifically light and the sound and everything to be watched at home, it's just a different movie, and you can't just throw it up on the screen in the theaters.
Last point for Mr. Z. Mr. Z, yesterday, I believe, it came out that there is a new Star Wars trilogy in the works. They are going to let the guy from X-Men write it, to one of the X-Men alum write it. So, it's been, something like 4 or 5 years since the last one, since Rise of Skywalker. So it's been a while, but they're going to go big again and put out a new trilogy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because they've, speaking of making stuff for streaming, a lot of when a Star Wars thing used to come out, it used to be such a big deal, and you had expectations so high. And now if, Mandalorian Season 3 comes out, you're like, I might watch it, I might not, And so they have to make it an event, they have to make it something, and I'll believe it when I see it. That they're going to turn this into a true event rather than just another thing to add to their library.
Sure. All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right, there's Mr. Z.
He's the best.
Yes, he is.
Wild news brought to you by our friends at Catalyst Supply and CatalystSupplyCo.com. Thanks, Catalyst.
Yeah, and I've got your Catalyst right here. Hold on.
Well, I can guess. Let's see if it lines up with what my guess is, because there definitely was... I'd say there's 2 options last night, but let's see if it's the same. Wild at San Jose last night late. It was like a 9:30 puck drop.
Yes, it was.
Wild got it done, Parrish. 5-2 over Macklin Celebrini and the Sharks.
Yes, they did. They got right back to their winning ways. Fleury played well. Kaprizov got back on his role there with a few assists. Zach.
Yes.
Boys are playing great. It's fun to be covering one of the best teams in the NHL, to be honest with you. And the way that they're playing, the way that they're working, the way that they're playing, it seems very easily sustainable. That's for sure. It's just stay healthy and keep working hard, boys. And I'll tell you what, though, if like me, I was... it was a team that obviously the Wild should have beaten, so I was looking forward to seeing young Macklin Celebrini, and oh my Lord.
Didn't disappoint?
Watching him in the college game, he passed the puck more. He was more of a distributor. And now seeing him in the NHL, I absolutely love the fact that he certainly looks like he's going to be a shoot-first player, because he has a rocket. That second goal especially that he scored, oh my Lord. The talent, the skill, it's pretty crazy. We just had a stat last week when I was out on the NHL Network that The goalie saves percentage has steadily gone down the last 5 years overall, just the average goals against average. And I think a lot of it has to do with these kids. All of these kids come in with such incredible high skill and talent. Matt Boldy, the Kaprizovs, these guys are instantly coming in and being they're being threats. It's incredible.
So Tom Reed's catalyst of the game, Kirill Kaprizov.
Yep.
Yeah.
3 assists in the win. 9th multi-point game this season in just 13 games. 5th game with 3 points.
Yeah, he's one of the tops in the league. We got two goal scorers in the top 20. I mean, 8 and 7. It's absolutely incredible. Lead team top is, I think, Kucherov and Reinhardt are still at 11. But yeah, it's so much fun watching these guys develop and get better and better.
While they're 9-2-2, they're at Anaheim tonight at 9 o'clock. The Charch Challenge is next. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
The Fan.
Hey, Rubes, this football season, Bell Bank is giving one KFAN listener each week $1,000 to pay it forward to a charity of their choice. Just head over to KFAN.com, make the keyword contest, learn more, and enter today. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest.
How long are you going to talk?
Legitimate question. Hi, Charch.
Good morning.
How are you, buddy?
Good morning, Charch.
I'm doing awesome. Thank you.
That's good to hear, man.
Yeah.
I'm
we
hoping-
finally got a Thursday night game that didn't involve the Jets.
Yeah, true. True.
There's that.
I'm hoping that
It feel sad.
that it's a good day for me in the Charch Challenge finally, that I get a chance to choose. Because
he's running cold.
I'm running cold. It's not my fault I haven't had a chance to choose.
That is true, but man, you were on the brink of putting everybody down a couple of weeks ago, and now you're almost at the bottom. So everybody is alive and back in this, even though there are still 2 people that are trailing you, and that is Zach Halverson and John Greasel.
Yes.
Do we have Grease?
Yeah, he's on the phone.
Okay. He's on the phone.
Hey, Charch?
Yeah.
I know you'll love this. Field Yates just retweeted this. Jamar Chase scored 55.4 PPR fantasy points on Thursday Night Football. He's the first player in NFL history to score 50-plus points in a game 3 times.
Yeah, that's the complete domination. 55.4 is how we scored it at guillotineleads.com, and you're safe for this week if you had him. If you were playing against Jamar Chase, your whole strategy for the weekend to try to get a win completely changes. You have to like pair up quarterbacks with wide receivers or tight ends and hope that your quarterback throws 3 and they're all to your tight end or all to your wide receiver. You got to go for the high upside guys that don't always pay off, like Marvin Harrison, who's been awful in 7 games and great in 2 games. You got to try pull all the levers you can to try to make up that deficit.
There's somebody in a league that you and I play in, Charch, that has both Burrow and Chase.
I'm looking at that team right now. That is, you're feeling pretty good right now in that league.
Yes, you are.
Sitting at 89 points after Thursday Night Football with 2 players down.
Yeah. Charch, where is the Friday football feast today?
We are in Elk River, Minnesota. Elk River always draws really, really well. So I think we're gonna have great turnout. Some people have already tweeted that they're in line now.
Wow.
So love it. Fantastic. It's gonna be a party atmosphere for sure.
And again, I said it when we talked about it the other day, Charch. I'll say it again. The roads to Elk River are so much better now that you don't have to plan the whole day to get there. So good for you guys.
Hey, and
thank you for the bypass.
And shout out to the Power Trip Rubes. I have sources that were telling me, was it a week ago or so, that the doors open at 8 or so?
At 8,
and that basically the entire place was playing initials along with the guys in Nafisa Collier and stuff, and sitting there at B-dubs playing initials against each other, which is awesome.
How awesome is that? And
That's
tip of the hat
super
to
cool.
Jared for engineering that up in advance. We love Jared. Yes, it's when I showed up at Blaine, it was standing room only. That's been most of them this year. So yeah, it's just a ton of fun. I love meeting all the people and sharing the excitement and just the vibe of everybody who's, especially by about 11, 4 or 5 cocktails in, everybody's in it. It's a good time.
Zach, your hands up.
Are you going to swing by Sauce's cabin up near Elk River, Charch? It's on the lax.
Well, yeah, since he's added the sex dungeon.
Yep, that was our secret, Charch.
Yeah, Lamar Odom is in there right now.
How about that story?
Looking for dolls.
That's hot.
Yeah.
All right, so we are through 9 weeks of the Fantasy Charch Challenge. 6 weeks to go. I'm in the lead with 168, but another good week out of Mark Parrish. Parrish,
let's go.
You're in second and at a pretty good distance again from Chris Hockey. We'll get to that in a second, but you're in second, Parrish, with 132. Sauce had a big week with 21 points out of Patrick Mahomes. So, Sauce, you have 122.
Lead.
Then the Ghost at 108. Chris Hockey has 108.
108.
Just 3 points now.
I'm cool.
Ahead of Zach Halverson and John Creasel, who both have 105.
Okay.
Zach finally with a big week last week when Burrow had, 5 touchdowns?
Yes.
He threw 5, and you had 29 points last week.
55.
He's 9-2.
He looked good last night, too.
Man.
But
And he played football.
defense.
Remind me what happens if the Ghost finish last. If Chris is last, what happens
Then
again?
it's whoever out of the 6 of us just have the worst score. So
Yeah.
Okay,
so somebody has to lose. If everybody loses to the Ghost, then everybody has the punishment. If the Ghost does finish last, then it's just whoever finishes last out of the rest of the group. There has to be at least one loser, and in this group there are multiple.
Yes, sir.
All right, who are the 6 options this week, Charch?
Well, we're going to test Mark Parrish this week, I'm afraid, in a way that we normally do not. So these are, the theme today is wide receivers who are due.
Oh.
These are all wide receivers who have more than 35 receptions on the season, but have only managed to score 3 or fewer touchdowns.
So they're dialing.
So these are all receivers who are due for a big game. We begin with Pittsburgh wide receiver George Pickens at Washington. Just 1 touchdown so far. Russell Wilson has breathed life into the Steelers offense, and Pickens dominates the other Steelers receivers in routes run, target share, and pretty much every other metric that you want to look at. Washington is one of the league's most improved secondaries, allowing the 5th fewest yards to wideouts over the past month. Next, Indianapolis wide receiver Josh Downs hosting Buffalo. He has scored 3 times this year. Under Joe Flacco, Downs is averaging 10 targets, 8 receptions, 69 yards, and half a touchdown. The Bills are a good pass defense, but not in the slot where Downs plays. Slot corner Taron Johnson is giving up a whopping 86% completion rate and 52 yards per game in his coverage. That's among the most in the league. Next, New York wide receiver Malik Neighbors in Germany against Carolina. He has scored 3 times. Neighbors started the season on fire, but has faded badly due to injury and inconsistent passing from Daniel Jones. The Panthers are a surprisingly improved wide receiver defense, allowing the 12th most yards to the position, and no receiver has scored on Carolina in a month.
Wow.
Next, Chicago wide receiver DJ Moore is hosting the Patriots. DJ Moore has, I didn't write down his touchdowns. I believe he's got 3.
700.
He is the 8th highest paid receiver, but he enters this game on a bad run, failing to top 27 yards in 3 straight games. He may get shadow coverage from Patriots cornerback Christian Gonzalez, who only allows a 58% completion rate and has given up just 1 touchdown in the last 6 games. And your last, we have 2. 2 more left. Denver wide receiver Cortland Sutton is at Kansas City. I've been talking a long time. These are long descriptions. I think we're all bored, and I lost track of my own player count. Cortland Sutton at Kansas City, 2 touchdowns. Bo Nix's improved play has helped Cortland Sutton tremendously. He has scored or topped 100 yards in 4 of the last 5 games, but this is a tough matchup. The Chiefs allow the fewest yards to wideouts, just 106 per game, although they have given up touchdowns in 6 of the past 7 to the position. And lastly, Buffalo wide receiver Khalil Shakir is at Indianapolis. He's got 2 touchdowns. Shakir is arguably the most efficient receiver in the league, catching an amazing 42 of 45 targets. Since the Amari Cooper trade, Shakir's usage has surged, averaging 8 targets per game. Despite facing backup quarterbacks in half of their starts, the Colts still allow the 9th most yards to receivers.
All right, George Pickens, Josh Downs, Malik Neighbors, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Khalil Shakir are the 6 options. Zacho spins a wheel that we can see here. It's random. It's digital. First pick goes to... It's rigged. It's rigged.
Come on,
Zacho.
Rigged. This is not
Give
fair.
me Downs.
Zacho.
Dang
You're
it.
going Josh Downs.
That's what I wanted.
Josh Downs, my number 2 choice this week.
All right, Zacho. You rigged it and you got the number 2 pick. Not a bad deal for you. All right. Spin it. Pick 2 goes to... This is garbage sauce. Go ahead.
Come on.
Oh, boy.
Hold on.
Chris is going to be last again.
Who did Zach take?
He took Josh Downs.
I will take man.
You'll take man.
I knew it.
Didn't see that one coming.
Cash those
I'll
tickets.
take Khalil Shakir.
You butthole.
My number 4 receiver
Yeah,
this
it's all
week.
right.
But my heart is with Khalil Shakir. I love that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
Sure do.
Yeah.
All right. Pick number 3 goes to... That looks like me or Chris. It's going to be me.
Of course it is.
What
is going on?
Let's go. I'm going to take George Pickens.
My number 3 option.
George Zip.
All right. Pick number 4
Come on.
goes to... Still not you. This is crazy. John Creasel gets pick number 4. Morning, Creasel.
What's up?
Kiss
What's
him.
up, friend?
Kiss him.
Malik Neighbors.
Taking Malik Neighbors.
That's my number 1 option this week.
Wow.
All right. Creasel, what are you doing? Deer hunting?
Yes, sir. Gonna go up. Gonna put some meat in the freezer and inside of Tim.
Okay.
I love it.
You're the best, buddy.
Good luck, Tim.
See you, dude.
Love you. See you next Friday.
See you next Friday.
All right, bye.
Yeah, don't forget Chris Hardwick next Friday on the Power Tribble One Show. Playing initials, too. Hawk goes 5th. Parrish goes last. All
I
right,
could
so
have slept in this week.
Chris, you're down to DJ Moore or Cortland Sutton. The other one goes to Parrish.
I'm going to DJ Moore.
You're going DJ Moore. Charch.
That's my bottom ranked player.
Yeah,
And
that's
Parrish
what I was hoping for.
gets Cortland Sutton. All right.
Well,
Man, you are running cold,
I
though.
can't believe it.
5th
I
or
know.
6th, like, constantly.
yeah, like almost every time. It
Yeah.
is something else. But that's all right.
Charch, we like this time of year to start talking video games. I saw you tweet about the PlayStation release, right? It's, what is it, the PS5 Pro or something?
Yep. Yeah, the PS5 Pro came out yesterday. I believe yesterday. $700 for a video game console is a new all-time high. It has no disk drive. So, I mean, it is more powerful, but they decided to take the disk drive out. And that has, that combined with the price tag, people are like, wait a minute, can't you leave the disk drive in? We all know the disk drive costs like $1 of manufacturing cost. And so we'll find out. It's been received very, very poorly so far in terms of just sales and excitement. But I guess it'll be an interesting experiment to see if people have an appetite for that.
What's the main advantage? What's the big selling point?
It's more powerful. So especially for people that have 4K TVs that want to run 4K level resolution, but don't want to give up frame rate. Now you get the best of both worlds. Prior to now, it was kind of like either resolution or frame rate, not both. This is the product that lets you do both. And at least in theory, it's supposed to. The catch is, though, if the game wasn't designed to take advantage of the capabilities of the Pro, it's not going to run any different or only marginally better.
So let me read between the lines and assume that you have not purchased this yet, and it sounds like you're not in line to get it.
I am not going to buy it. Yeah, that's my regular PS5 is going to do just fine for me for the rest of this cycle. Also, we learned that there's not going to be an announcement on the next Nintendo Switch until after holiday because they don't want to take any of the excitement away from people who still want to buy Switches for the holidays. And we've learned the next Switch will be fully backwards compatible, which is great.
That's sweet.
Oh, that is good.
So you can play it backwards?
No, you can play all the other games, right?
Very good for the dyslexic community.
Yeah, very cool.
And do we still not have a release date for GTA 6?
Next year.
But we don't know when.
Holiday. I believe they've said holiday. Yeah, holiday of next year.
My God.
I know.
GTA 5 came out in 1982.
Right. Correct.
Unbelievable.
And
it's our fault. We keep playing it.
Because it holds up. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. We keep playing it. So there's been no incentive for them to bring out a new GTA.
Not even a new trailer. Like, nothing.
Well said, Zacho.
Yeah, let's go.
You said that well.
Yeah.
How do we get Trevor Phillips in GTA 6? Is Trevor coming back?
No.
Son of a bitch.
He hated it.
Did he really?
The actor who played him, he hates it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he wasn't a gamer, and then people started calling him Trevor, like out in the streets, and he hated it.
That's weird.
Because he looks exactly like Trevor.
Does he really?
Yeah.
I had never heard that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Does he want the money or
come
not?
on. That's got to be
Jeez.
excellent cash.
Give him another year living in that apartment. He'll do it again.
Yeah, correct.
All right. Paul Charchian from Guillotine Leagues and guillotineleagues.com. Buffalo Wild Wings, Elk River, the Friday football feast, 9 to noon with Charch, PA and Company. Thanks, Charch. Appreciate it, man.
Talk to you in a week. Bye-bye.
Love you.
Bye, Charchie. We're doing that lunch, by the way. We're not skipping it this time. We're having that lunch.
He already hung up, which means he's skipping that lunch.
No, I didn't hear you.
GTA 6 fall 2025 release according to GameSpot. Come on, man.
I want another Red Dead.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
And the problem with that, too, is no matter how good it is, it feels like, I don't know, is it going to be able to live up to those expectations?
100%.
I hope so.
We'll all forget this frustration when it's out, but still, it still sucks.
Yeah.
Still sucks.
Oh. I was still in high school.
Man. Wow. Maybe I should start playing Red Dead 2 again. It's not the worst idea.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's been so long, you're going to forget most of it, right?
Or maybe I should just go back and play GTA 5 again. That would feel like it's playing for the... I haven't gone through the whole story in 10 years.
If you play Red Dead, please don't have any trouble getting down the mountain.
I didn't.
Oh, that wasn't you.
That wasn't me.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not good at riding fake horses on games.
Don't go straight to Valentine.
Don't kill your horse first thing you do.
Who hasn't played GTA 5 yet, right?
I've only played it a little bit here and there.
It's so epic.
I haven't played much of the GTA at all.
Parrish, if you love Red Dead, you would freaking love GTA 5.
It's too hard.
Oh, it's so good. I actually like it better than Red Dead 2. I know that's sacrilege in this room, but
no,
GTA 5 is...
I love Red Dead, but it was...
They're both 10s. It's just a matter of opinion.
You love the music, man. Los Santos Rock Radio with is it Kenny Loggins?
Oh, again, it's been so long. I don't remember the soundtrack to GTA 5. Vice
Yacht
City,
Rock, baby.
Little different, right? That soundtrack bangs.
Yeah.
The news is next. Marnie should be here shortly. Parrish is already here. Initials at 8:15 and $77,500 up for grabs. The St. Paul Federal Credit Union Initials jackpot. And also, don't forget, on social media, thanks to our friends at Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing, you can guess the initials on social media. All the details on social media. Have a shot at a $100 Visa gift card.
Yeah,
check that out as well.
Guess hashtag initials. Guess the initials and have fun with that.
More of the Power Trip after this on the Fan.